Hey everyone, this is going to be an Art Explained, going over my tattoo supplies and what I think so far in all of my self-learning. So I normally would do Art Explains in the past, teaching a new technique or whatever, but this time I'm going to make this all about my tattoo equipment because I get a lot of comments and questions from people all the time. I do repeat myself a lot, but I thought making a video might help some of you who are watching the channel for the purpose of tattoos. So I will first just kind of go over some of my supplies, and I'll have links in the description for if you want to buy it. I don't get any kickback from this. This is just purely for your information and what I chose to do. Nothing I have here was given to me or supplied in any way for free. This is all my purchases and my decisions to buy. So I'll go over my machines first. So this is the first machine I got. They're still set up because I was using them. It is a coil machine. It is not the best machine because it has issues up here with the connections to change this. I would probably buy it again because it was cheap. It was about, I think it was about $18 to $25 when I first bought it, and this was a couple of years ago. It's not a name brand or anything. It is just a very basic machine. I did like this handle which I bought, which is a locking. You just unlock it to take off the head there, which these are all interchangeable, and you change them according to which kind of needle you're using. So I like that feature about it, but that's just something I bought to add to it. So the machine itself is okay. It doesn't really have anything above another liner that I have. So in that case, I guess, yeah, it's just okay. It's pretty average. I didn't invest a lot into these machines because I wanted to just use them as tools, and I'm not using them on people. Again, I'll just add a disclaimer here because some of you watch the channel and might not know I am not a professional. I have never had an apprenticeship, even though I'm looking for one in the Kansas City area. This is all self-taught. This is just applying my understanding of traditional mediums into a new machine. So that is it. So then I go into my other machines. This is the first shader I bought. I bought it as a set that went with a liner from the same company here. This one's not set up. It doesn't have anything attached. They, again, are not like a name brand or a specific maker. They were just, you know, they were a set, and I had never had a machine that was specifically a shader. When I bought my first machine, it was a liner, and I didn't realize it, but I didn't realize there was much of a difference. And, you know, for the purposes of fake skin, I don't really find a huge difference in the machines themselves for being able to attach a shader needle to a liner versus a shader and then actually using them on the skin. I personally don't see a huge difference. So if you are just beginning on fake skin, maybe keep that in mind. It's not a huge difference now. Again, I have not worked on skin. I have never touched anyone with these machines, and I do not plan to until I've had an apprenticeship and have been properly taught. So this information is purely for using these tools as an art tool on fake skin and so forth. So those are my 3 coil machines, and then I have this rotary machine, which I absolutely adore. I got it very recently because a commenter was suggesting I try a rotary machine with the fake skin, and my God, it is amazing. The first time I used it was in my last tattoo video. I was using coil the whole time, of course, before, thinking that this is as good as it gets. I was wrong. It gets amazing with this tool. The best thing I can explain it as is using the coil machines on fake skin was like using a dull pencil, and suddenly I sharpened my pencil when I started using this. Yeah, I can't say enough about it, and I've used it for lining and shading, and it doesn't seem like there's a huge difference, so I don't know much on if there's actually a rotary tool specifically for shading. But as for the fake skin, I don't notice a difference. You know, it's just a matter of changing out your needles and changing the amplitude a little to get a better shading. So yeah, pretty sure it's a one-stop shop for the rotary machine, at least for fake skin purposes, at least for me. This was a very cheap machine. It was $15. I did not invest in it heavily because I wanted to just try it out as a tool, and you know, I'm going to use it to death. So the next time I go for a rotary machine, or if I'm actually going to be starting to work on people because I've had an apprenticeship, I will invest in a better tool. But for now, this does the trick. I really like this nipple system here that holds the needle to it. This is very convenient because it takes away the need for the rubber bands on the other machines, because it keeps the needle taut and is perfect. But these here, on this machine, I was using what came with it first, which was this, which you're not going to see very well because it won't zoom in. Basically, it's the nipple that came with it that holds the needle, but it was just ripping to shreds when I used it. I couldn't figure out why. I thought maybe I was using the machine with a higher amplitude than I should have. I messed with that for a while. It still didn't change anything. So then I went to using what I was using with the coil machines, which is very basic, classic grommet or nipple. It too just disintegrated, but they're kind of old, so I thought maybe it was the age that did it. But then I searched for one that was more of a silicone, which is what this one is. And it's great. It has not disintegrated on me at all. It's really robust and strong. So that is just a set that I bought recently off Amazon as well. And they're going to go a long way for me, I'm sure, and I'm going to be able to reuse them a lot. Because, as I said, this is not being used on people. So nothing here is sterile. If I reuse something, it's not a big deal, you know. So, yeah. This is not a sterile environment, and I never claim it to be, and that's why I don't work on people. So, those are my machines. As for ink, I still am on my first bottle of ink that I ever bought, which is this brand here. Kurosumi Tattoo Outlining Ink. Now, for the purposes of tattooing on fake skin, there is no difference really in the inks as far as an outlining or shading ink. This is just straight up black ink that I dilute. That's all I've been using. I've not been doing colors or anything like that, because when I learned traditional, it was all about learning how to do shading and black and gray first. So that's exactly what I've done to learn how to use the tattoo machines. So I have nothing bad to say about this ink. It works really well. When I'm tattooing, I use a very small inkwell like this, and that is the 100% pure ink that's not diluted at all. Then I generally have something like this, which is just a little glass bottle that I got at Michael's. It comes like in a set of 2 or 4. And yeah, that keeps the dilution there. I kind of keep it as a running one. Like, it might go down, I just keep adding a little more water, and it kind of changes and fluxes. Again, this is not a sterile environment, so it doesn't really matter. Then I keep this one, something like this, for just water, and then maybe 2 or 3 similar to this with different levels of clear water to shaded water. And that's something I usually just dump at the end of a session, you know, at the end of a whole tattoo, not a session, a whole tattoo. As for the actual fake skin, I get that off Amazon as well. I just bought this new pack here. You see the brand there, E-Tattoo. Yeah. But it works really well. It's only 2 millimeters thick. So they're all going to be quite thin, and that's why I always have a good piece of cardboard underneath me when I'm working, so I'm not ramming the needle into a hard surface, dulling it super quickly, and of course not ruining my actual table either. Here are the tattoo tips. Again, this is super cheap, just off Amazon. I did not buy a full kit of predetermined stuff from a company. I picked and chose from reviews of what I wanted. So there's my tips. Of course, some are off on machines right now. They're very basic, and go through the basic ones. There's some here that I never use, and I don't even know where to get needles for some of them, which is like a 3DT. I haven't tried that. I guess that would probably be some of the next things that I'll think of using. I generally stick to the regular liners here, or the M1s of up to 7 MI. Again, now I am sure I sound like an idiot because I don't actually know a lot of this. I just go off of the tools I have and what I've learned using them, as I've not had anyone actually teach me, and it's sometimes hard to find actual information online because the whole keeping things to yourself, which is very popular in the tattoo world. So those are the tips. As for the needles, I just was using this, which is, what is this brand? One Tattoo World. These are very cheap sets. I've got a whole one of 3 RLs, which is for very tight lining, and then these were, you know, variety pack of several different kinds, which I'm slowly getting through, and I need to order some more shaders. I generally try not to reuse my needles past one whole skin. Now, again, because it's not sterile, it doesn't matter, but you would not do that on skin. So, yes, my needles do come individually packed, but that's just how they come. So, yeah. As for cleanup, I use this, which is green soap. Every time I tell it to someone, I tell them that it's not literally green colored soap, but it is the kind of soap. It is really good. It is used to remove dried blood and protein soils from skin and scalp. Uses deep cleansing shampoo, sorry. I've never done that. I use it to clean my skins, which I dilute into a small sprayer here, and then I spray down my skin and wipe down. It works really well, you know. A lot of people ask me how I clean it because they keep getting smears, and of course you're going to get smears. That's the nature of the beast, especially as the silicone isn't as repellent as actual skin is. So yes, it will feel like it's getting into the silicone, but with a good cleaner it comes off. I just use paper towels to wipe down. This is a Viva brand paper towel. I like it because it's got a lot of texture to it, and I feel like it really cleans up well. That's a new discovery of the Viva ones. I like this brand. Let's see, for putting down the skin, putting down the design onto the fake skin, I use Speed Stick, and that is because it is fake skin, not a real person, so I don't have to worry so much about cross-contamination. Let's see, what else? Gloves, just, you know, gloves. It's not a big deal. Again, at this point, it's not because of a sterile environment. It is just because it will save you cleanup on your hands later. Sometimes I forget, but yeah. You are also going to need a little hex wrench for opening and closing your tattoo handle to change the tips. There's usually a small little place here that you insert and turn and take off. Now, that won't come with your kit. That's something you'll have to have. Just get a small one. It's not a big deal. They're usually all very much alike. I have a medical waste holder for my needles that I put in, so I don't try to put them all into the same trash because they'll poke through your trash and maybe poke you, and that's not good. So I just keep a medical waste one that I just pop them into. Just looking around at my stuff here in front of me. That I've gone through. Something else that I did buy but I don't use a lot is this, which actually covers this here to give you a more siliconed, gentle hold. It is okay. For the coil machines, it helps a lot. For the rotary, it seems not so important. But basically for me is that it gets my hand into such a large position to hold it as well. My hand becomes fatigued quicker because I have smaller hands, because I am a dainty girl. Let's see, my actual power supply is a One Tattoo World, which is, I can't really show you it right now because it's buried. It is not a great power supply, and I'm sure I will be upgrading it soon, but it does the job for now. It was just like $15 when I got it. So yeah, power supply is a power supply. But you need to make sure you have a good pedal. I can show you this pedal. Here is what I use. I bought this pedal separately to use because the one that came with the system was starting to give my foot feedback, and I was electrocuting my foot, and it didn't feel nice. I could feel it even through rubber-soled shoes. It was intense and strange. So I got rid of that one and got this one, and it has been working great for me, and I feel like I have a lot more control over it. The other one was literally just stacked metal that you just barely hit together. It was real crap. What else? Rubber bands and the nipples. Well, I showed you the other nipples. This is just some rubber bands. These are very cheap rubber bands, and over time have disintegrated greatly. I have to use 2, sometimes 3, just to get almost 1 normal rubber band's strength on them with the coil machines. Yeah, I didn't need this many. It's just the pack that it came in. I still have... I tried to keep the bags that my tattoo skins come in because they're each individually done, and I tried to put them back in it. That can be difficult because of the nature of silicone sticking to plastic. This is, you know, some of the older ones I did, and these are the ones from the videos that you've seen. I keep all of them, and I'm going to be adding them to my portfolio for when I go through and, you know, try to get an apprenticeship. Now these ones are all pretty small, and then I have a couple of these large ones, which you've seen on the channel for these videos, and I would like to go back and do them because when you look at them now you can see how horrible they are, but I am improving, and that is good. I would like to do another portrait because this was my first try at a portrait of somebody who really exists with a tattoo machine. Oof. Yeah, I would love to try this now with the rotary machine on somebody else, so that is for the future. Oh, the transfer paper. This is what you use for the transferring of your drawing. You can see me do it in some of my videos at the beginning. It's very simple because I don't have a thermal machine to do it like an actual tattoo machine shop would, so I have to trace them all. So you've got your first paper here, which I usually just pull off and throw away because you don't need it. And it all comes down to this page, which is the important one. You can do this several ways. Here, let's just show you. This is an old paper, so basically I just photocopied or printed my drawing. Now you could put that then between this layer and it, and then see your original, sorry, I told you to tear off the wrong one. This is the little one to tear off. This one that's already been contaminated some by the purple of the transfer. It's the top one you want to keep, sorry. So you can use the top one as a literal tracing paper over your drawing and literally just draw it, and then the carbon will go on the back of your copy. And you're going to hear an alarm going off to a battery powered watch I can't turn off. So then you'll end up with this, which has your copy on the back, which you will attach to your fake skin using the speed stick. That is again just a pack that I got cheap, and I still have several, so a lot of this stuff isn't a huge investment, of course, unless you do it all at once, but they have been working well for me. Yeah, I don't think I really have much else to show you. I'm looking here at all my stuff and it looks like I've talked about most of it. I hope this video has helped you, and if you have more questions about a specific item here or a suggestion of what I should use next because you see me using something very stupid, I will listen to you and consider your thoughts. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for further update videos and my next tattoo, which I do at least once a month, sometimes 2. Now with the rotary machine, I wonder if I can't do 2 in a month more easily because it works so well. So With this, I will sign off and I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah.